Raptors fans, I'm pleased to be joined today by Audley Stephenson, the author of
Basketball Talk the Way It Should Be, Baller and Celebrity Quote Book.
There we go. And you guys have a weekly podcast.
That's right. We do a weekly podcast, thebreakdownshow.com. My partner, Dave Mendock, and myself, we just break down the league, and, we get into interesting dialogues, great conversations with whether former players, celebrities, what have you, talking about the culture of the game. And that's what we do, man. For Hoops Talk the Way It Should Be.
So let's break down Cleveland, Toronto while
nice
we're here.
kinda...
Little segue for you there.
You're good.
So the fans, I'm calling them fans in quotation, are upset about a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah.
I understand how you want lottery balls. I understand in a rebuilding year you want draft picks. But I also think you have to admire Coach Casey.
Yeah.
The teaching he's given these guys, the growth, and now it's culminating in 3-game winning streak. That should be celebrated. But fans are on this whole Tank Nation tip, and I think it's crazy. How about you?
No, I think it is absolutely nuts. I mean, at the end of the day, you want a squad that competes, that goes out there and plays hard, that shows passion, effort, all these things. And these are things you kind of just turn off and on. Like, you either are that way or you're not. And the fact that we're talking about we're on a 3-game winning streak, you're right. It's got to be celebrated. We got to be excited about it. We got to be happy about that. Because if you look at the beginning of the season, when Casey's systems were just kind of coming into play, we weren't sure, and then all of a sudden you see guys like Bargnani playing things. He was doing things we've never seen this guy do before.
Almost all-star caliber level.
He was. I mean, if not for the injury, there would have been a good argument for why he should be an all-star. Granted, short in season, I get all that, but still, the fact of the matter is, he was diving for the floor, he was rebounding, he was playing defense, blocking shots, he was doing stuff that fans complained about, and I rightfully so, that they should have complained because he wasn't delivering. So, I think, as like much of your point, we got to be happy about this, man, because we're winning, right? No, I mean, I just the idea of not winning is getting people upset. It drives me crazy.
You have to create that winning culture, and Casey's doing that
You
slowly, and I think that should be celebrated. Now,
Yeah.
DeRozan.
Yeah.
He's playing at an enormous level right now.
Yep.
20 points a game over his past, I think, 5 or 10 games.
Yep.
I hate to be a hater. I think it's false gold.
Okay.
His shooting percentage is not that high. Yes, he's attacking. Yes, he's getting free throws. But to me, it's what he did last year. He hinted at this progress, and then training camp came this year, and it was gone. I think it's going to be the same thing next year. What have you seen from DeRozan, and what's your take on him? Is it real development and growth, or is it kind of a mirage?
Anytime that you're playing regular minutes and you're getting that experience and exposure, it's a good thing. We saw at the beginning of the season, him and Bargnani, because I think Bargnani's play is a big part of his success, right? Bargnani takes the pressure off of him. When you make DeMar be that guy and defense zero in on him, I think that's where he struggles a bit. His ball handling is a bit suspect at times, turnovers and traffic. We've seen that as well, too. But I think overall, if you put him in a situation where he's playing alongside a guy like Bargnani that allows him an opportunity to naturally develop and, pick his spots, I think we're seeing a different kind of player. So, I mean, I'm okay with what we've seen out of him. There's room. There's opportunity for growth.
I'm glad you're okay with it.
There's opportunity for growth here because we're seeing that incremental climb, and that's what you want to see. The same way when Casey introduced his system, you're seeing that incremental development. It's the same kind of thing.
Speaking of development, another great segue. D-League. You're helping me out, so thank you. D-League showcase for point guards tonight. Kyrie Irving's out.
Yes.
Jose Calderon's out.
Yep.
Bayless is out. Even Forbes.
Booby Gibson, where's he at, man?
So there's a lot. I predict and I fear a lot of tough basketball because I think point guard is the most important position on the court.
It is.
You need your point guard as a coach to be an extension of you, calling the plays, running your sets. And when you have two guys, Ben's been here for 10 days. Justin's been here for maybe 10 hours.
Close to that.
So when you're a point guard, how do you take this on the fly? You're going to have a really scaled-back offense for Toronto, and it might be a tough game to watch.
It will be just for that alone, and I think Dwayne Casey, in fact, even Byron Scott, has to exercise a lot of patience tonight, and as they look at what these point guards potentially getting themselves into with respect to not knowing the sets, not knowing the offense, not even knowing their teammates, where guys like the ball. I mean, there's all these factors that come into play. So I think you're right. It will be tough. But at the same time, we talk about development and the opportunity to get out there. It doesn't, when you're out in the trenches and you're playing, that's a good thing. It kind of helps that where we're at in the season. We got two teams that are just sort of playing for some respect and, trying to finish out strong. And if we were in the middle of a playoff race here and this were the matchups, bit different. But, again, the fact that the opportunity for development, and I just look at the positive side of things, man. It has to be that way, man.
All right. Audley, thanks for your time. Enjoy the game tonight.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Raptors fans?
Should be, man. Later.
Enjoy the game.